Leo, what a trip. It's a trip, the trip of a lifetime. Something's tripping you out. I got this coming in strongly. That's interesting. Just had a card show up in middle of the deck upright, even though I thought I had turned all of these around. One snuck through. It's this particular character here, a bit of a joker. Okay, joker's wild for you. Sacred Fool energy coming in for you right off the bat. This is 33 on the clock. Okay, so something here, a little bit of a helpful tidbit I'm giving you here, information to be on the lookout for this character. There is somebody here who is going to try to pull your strings, I feel. Okay, there's a little bit of playfulness connected to this. All right, so do be prepared to deal with somebody that is about to bring a little wild medicine to your path. I got that. Okay, it's sacred fool energy. This is something that is opening up a new road for you, a road to the stone of destiny. Okay, could be a particular character connected to this, but there might be a trip connected to this, or something's just really tripping you out to have this person come around, to hear from this person. That's what I got. Something is trippy here. All right, just to open up your energy, but let's dive into it. Okay, Leo, this is your Pathfinder quest read on the road to the stone of destiny. And with this particular cycle, we're working with the lunar cycle that got kicked off with the Taurus full moon back on the 15th, and we'll come to a culmination point with the Sagittarius new moon that will roll out November 30th or December 1st, depending on where you are in the world. And what we're going to look at first with the Sacred Rebels Oracle. So right off the bat, I do feel like there is a little bit of this kind of daring coming out of you, a little bit of thumbing your nose at fate, preparing yourself perhaps to take a risk, I have to say, willing to be the fool, play the fool. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. I mean, that trickster energy really wanted to present itself right out the gate. I do feel like you may be crocking a bit of this medicine, I have to say. But we're working with the Sacred Rebels Oracle as we dive into your energy. We're going to find out what path you are closing out in the South Node and leaving behind you now. I just heard that some of you are actually burning the bridge to that particular path. You never want to go back there again, okay? And then we're going to look at the present path that you see before you, just according to your current perspective. It's always subject to change. And I do feel like there's a lot of changes coming in for you. There's a real sort of like mutable quality to your energy right now, which is unfamiliar for you because you are a fixed sign, okay? So you may be dealing with a mutable sign, maybe coming in, a Sagittarius, a Gemini, a Pisces, or a Virgo here. Be on the lookout for that. These could be some key characters that you may bump into as you are on the road to the activation of your North Node, the Stone of Destiny. But I digress. These may be things that are presently on your mind because they're filtering in. Your energy is super talkative right now, like really Gabby. You could be dealing with somebody named Gabby. You could be dealing with somebody named Gabrielle. Okay, this energy just coming in. But I do feel this, like there's a lot of chatter going on in your head. There's a lot of communication coming in. There's a lot of downloads. There's a lot of messages coming your way, okay? In the physical, you know, people hitting you up in your inbox, people texting you, hearing from people you haven't heard from in a long time. You may suspect some funny business around this, okay? Maybe because there was funny business that went down in the past, okay? So, you know who you're dealing with, that message coming through. But we are going to be looking at, interesting, because I'm going to say now that we are going to be looking at the path that is the hidden path that will open up to you, that is going to lead you to the activation of your destiny. So do be aware that you can get caught up in whatever this energy is that wants to come in here, that it could distract you, that it could take up too much of your energy, your time, your mental space, where soon you're lacking focus, okay? This energy coming in right off the bat, we're going to dive into this here, okay? So I'm going to cut this deck into 3 piles, all right? This last pile here is going to represent the hidden path that will come into view for you with that Sagittarian new moon. We are working within the framework of lunar cycles as we dive into this energy. So you may not see the full fruition of what comes through here, but you will certainly get breadcrumbs. You'll see, the way to find yourself out of the dark wood, to get to the clearing, to get to the other side. 5:22 on the clock. I do feel like that alignment will come through for you where you felt like you've been very blocked or you can't see the forest for the trees. I think you're going to find your way through. Okay. There's some kind of alignment coming in there. It may be a little disruptive initially is what I'm hearing, but it ultimately gets you where you need to go. Okay, so this is the hidden path. I feel like you're eager, like, what is my path forward, man? But it's sort of like in your haste and your need to have too many answers to so many questions, you don't realize the way you're actually kind of creating gridlock on your path and holding yourself back, right? Just be more open, you'll find more flow. Okay, so the hidden path that will come into view for you that leads to your stone of destiny that will start to introduce itself with that new moon in Sagittarius, November 30th, December 1st, depending on where you are, all right? This middle path here is going to represent where you are right now, in the eternal now, the only point in time when you actually do have power to affect your future through the actions you take, the focus you hold, okay? So this is your current vantage point, according to what reality tunnel you're looking through, your current perspective. And then this path here is the one that you're leaving behind, or at least trying to wrap up in the South Node, right? So we're going to open up with this. And we got on the bottom of the deck here, big, bold vision. So I think you're understanding that there's something that you need to release in order to activate a big, bold vision that has started to come in for you. You have sort of an idea about how you want to move forward. I feel like what's missing, 7:11 on the clock. Yes, I feel like you already got a download about this. Spirit's already kind of given you the memo on this one, and you're just waiting for certain things to line up so you can get where you need to go. Some of you think you might need somebody else to align with you to get where you need to go. That's not true at all. I don't feel that that's the case at all. And that actually could be an excuse you're using to hold yourself back. I feel like this is just about you actually starting to take some tangible steps in material reality, even if it seems like a little off the wall. Like, what am I doing here? Off the wall. I just heard off the wall Michael Jackson. Some of you may have been having that song come in for you frequently. Some of you may have recently danced to that song. Look, listen to the lyrics of that song. It's kind of that energy off the wall, right? It may seem strange. It may seem odd. You may feel like you don't know how to get there. It's sort of like as you take the steps, the vision will come into view. You'll know the next step to take. You'll also draw community to you, people who will be able to move into helping you sort of like get the momentum going with this. You may need to make contact with other people, or you may not realize that now, but you will in time. This has something to do with expanding your reach. And there's people you're going to come into alignment with here that can expand your reach or expand your broadband. And with that, I'm getting something coming in here around your voice. Your voice is being really activated right now. You have a message to share. Some of you are taking to the airwaves. Some of you are starting your own YouTube channels. You're ready to put yourself out there. You realize you have something to share too, something to contribute. You've kind of been checking things out, seeing what people are putting out there. And you're like, well, I have my own unique, message to put out in the world. So you're preparing for this. But I feel like at this point, it's just sort of been in the works. You know what I'm saying? It's time to actually get busy with the bee medicine and move into production. Okay. It's time to back up the dream, the vision with tangible action. You got to do the work to bring this into being. Okay. And I think that you're really setting your sights in this direction for moving forward. You may also be looking at your schedule and figuring out, how can I really do this where I can still have some balance in my life, where I'm not pushing myself too hard. And this may be because you're kind of heading down a little bit of a creative track, but you have to, you still got to earn your bread. You have to have a way to have a roof over your head. You have to have a way to sort of make ends meet and take care of your day-to-day responsibilities. So you're probably trying to figure out a balance to in your schedule that will be most productive for you without you getting drained or burned out along the way. Okay. You may have been dealing with burnout in your current job, and that might be why you're sort of really trying to wrap up old cycles there in relation to this. Yes. And I also feel like there's a lot you've been moving through here. We have after the storm, for those of you that are over in California, in Sonoma County and all along that coastal region on up north, you might be riding out a storm right now. You might not be able to do your usual production. This might just be what's coming in for you. You're a little bit kind of frustrated about that because you felt like you were just starting to get momentum with those goals. Don't worry about it. The storm will pass, and we do have the Merkaba energy there. Okay, so Metatron on the scene. I do feel like you're transforming a lot right now. You are really getting through some difficult stuff. You've been riding it out. Some of you have been riding the lightning. You dealt with the tower. You put it to good use. You know, you used it to activate change within you. And I do feel like you're in the process of transforming something here that will put you back into alignment with your planetary ruler, the sun, also kind of put you in the center of things. Instead of feeling like you're sort of on the periphery, swirling around all the action going on inside that you feel like you're not a part of. Okay. So this is you putting yourself in the center of things. But I feel like in the desire to head in that direction, because I think this has been a desire for a while. So you may have felt like you were part of some kind of like group dynamic situation that you always felt like, yeah, but I still feel on the outside, even though I'm supposed to feel part of this group. I don't feel like I'm really in the center of it. And some of you may have even had like some kind of key role within a group dynamic, and you were sort of put in this position of being the hub of everything like moving around you, and yet you still felt like you were out of loop or on the outside in some way. I just heard that'll make sense to who that is speaking to. Okay, but whatever this is, you're getting to the other side of a storm here. There might have been some kind of difficult truths you had to acknowledge here, but I do feel like your chariot is on the way and you will get to the other side of this. Whatever this was, it was necessary. Whatever was going on back there, it wasn't the right foundation for you to launch this big, bold vision. So now that you're moving out of that energy, you'll be heading forward in a dynamic new way. Okay. So do look for the last remnants of the challenges you've been through to start to clear. I do feel like you've taken a lot of wisdom forward with you here from what you've been through, and there's a new beginning activating in your life. Okay, so well done. Looks like you're getting beyond that South Node stuff. You really did a lot of transformational work, and this is the activation of your North Node, and I saw 1311 on the clock there. So yes, you've definitely come into your personal power, and your personal power is sort of granting you the power of Freya's chariot to carry you forward. If you can't lay them, you're going to slay them. So you're going to find a way through here, and it looks really good. Okay, your present position, we have number 21. So you see, you just closed a major cycle, right, with that world energy. And it affected you personally. You are a fixed sign. The fixed signs are associated with that wheel. You could have also been dealing with an Aquarius or possibly a Leo rising in this situation. You could be a Leo rising. This could be speaking very strongly to you. You could have been dealing with a Scorpio or a Taurus rising. You also could have been dealing with, your sign. You could have been dealing with another Leo, all right? But it could have also been an Aquarius rising. They're Leo descendants, okay? So whatever is going on here, I feel like you're closing up a major cycle where things just kind of got too fixed for a while there. It was sort of like the scene at the OK Corral. Everybody was trigger happy. You were all looking at each other, mean mugging one another. All right, who's going to go first? Who's going to draw first here? And I feel like you're closing that out. You're like, I don't even need to stand off with this. I just need to stand up for myself and what I want in my own life. I see you taking those steps. You're bringing something to a close. It has something to do with this vision that got activated for you. In fact, this vision may have been stewing for a long time. It might have first come in for you back in the spring. It's been continuing to build as you headed into the fall. Something about fall season really started to reactivate this for you. Okay, maybe it kind of got sidelined for a little bit. And I feel like right now it's almost like, how can I describe this? You know, all of the energy of our ancestors is so encoded within us, within our DNA. And to me, this feels like a DNA activation here. It's like cellular memory reawakening here that's putting a new spin on things that creates a new spiral of creation for you. This may make sense to you. It's also something about that book by James Lipton, The Biology of Belief. I think you've been looking at your beliefs and how your thoughts truly are things. You may be recognizing ways that your thoughts held you back in the past. And so there's a lot of work to transform this. I also feel like there's some major lesson you learned. You do have that mark of the cocoon on your third eye there, which is usually given by a teacher when you've passed a lesson successfully. So I do feel like you passed the lessons of the South Node, and this is sort of a congratulatory moment. But that is just a moment of pause. Soon there's more to come. There's more to create. There's more that's going to be coming in, more that's going to be activated for you. And it opens up a very successful cycle for you. It leads to some new beginning here. Okay. And that's the basis of the matter from where you are right now. So currently you might be just spending some time sort of relaxing, tuning in, listening to your inner thoughts, maybe even getting into meditation. Maybe you used to be really active in meditation, you kind of tossed it aside. You've started to recognize maybe it's time I bring that back. Okay. I think if you do that, it will facilitate the hastening of this activation. Okay. And yes, with this, we got going beyond normal. So you're about to get a golden idea here. It's not time to take this action yet, but do you see, look at the eyes are focused on the third eye there. This is the 11th hour. It's not the most magical hour of all quite yet, but it will be soon. And there's something here about tuning into your inner vision. I'm getting specifically with meditation, because it's sort of like if you tune in for meditation, all this kind of like clutter that you have, it's like psychic clutter of outside energies you've taken on, other people's ideas, other people's opinions, the way other people have brought stuff together in their own lives. I think it's sort of like sew buttons on bananas. Like you need to look at things sort of really outside of the current frame you've sort of put around your reality. And the way to do that is to clear that clutter from your brain. So I do really highly recommend, however it feels approachable for you, to create spaces where you can just meditate. And if you're not comfortable with the word meditate because you're like, I don't want to just sit bored, oming it out. Okay, there's many different ways that you can meditate. I mean, you can color and just sort of like brainstorm. You can brainstorm. You can just empty your mind on a page and write a bunch of nonsense. You'll be surprised the threads of connection that come through. You can take it on a hike and just take a particular issue you have or a desire you have, something that you feel like is no way to be unraveled. And you'll be surprised if you put that into motion instead of letting it ping pong around your head, how quickly you get out of a neural loop and the synapses start firing off here. So this energy coming in, you will have a golden idea come in for you. And I feel like if you create the space for it to come in, it will come in. But you got a lot of clutter going on right now. I also recommend that you clear up some clutter in your environment, or at least a space where you can create that room within your home for creativity and sort of like figuring things out. It's like there's sort of like this jumbled quality here that is, it's sort of getting in the way of this golden idea coming through. I feel like you'll have more ability to tap into that current if you clear some of the stuff that's just sort of clogging the channel and creating interference in what wants to come through for you right now. I'm going to take a little sip of my drink here. Okay. And then this is the hidden path that's going to start to come into view for you with that Sagittarius new moon. There's that alignment. I love this. Okay. So I also feel like with this 29 energy, it is reminding me of really trusting your inner guidance as the high priestess. This could also be in connection to like a blind spot you felt you've had. You may have had to spend this time. You know, sometimes we don't get to race ahead, and it's because there's something key we're missing here. And I feel like the reason why you've been a little bit on hold here is so you could see your true reflection. And it's a bit of that hermit journey as well. So you could have been dealing with a Pisces. Certainly, you could have been dealing with a Virgo. I mean, that mutable energy was coming in for you. And I think through this, you're starting to really see the true you in the reflection of others. Okay, so this energy coming in, do value this moment you had for pause, because there is something that's in the state of transformation, even though it doesn't seem like it right now. I see those lily pads and it reminds me of the lotus. So it could be that you kind of feel like you're starting out in the mud, and it's going to take a lot to transform this or rise up out of this. But it will in its proper timing. Okay, so just allow it the space to come into bloom. There will be an unfolding process here. And what do we got on the other side? Do you see? I told you. Wow, it will come into bloom. I see this coming in so strongly for you. Remember, it's all about your focus. So for you right now, you need to clear the blocks in your third eye there. There's something that needs to be clarified in your vision. Time to stop focusing on all of those buttons. And it was 22 on the clock. Stop trying to figure out how you can bring something together and instead let it fall apart so the way through can be found. That's how it's coming in. It's like as soon as you stop trying to fix something, the solution arrives on the scene, and it will be the seed that you plant that does bloom, and it becomes your field of dreams. This will be rooted. It'll have strength. It will have longevity. And this is something beautiful coming in. It probably will come into bloom in the summer, to be honest with you, but the foundation of how this launches is super important. So don't negate any step of the process here. It's all essential for this dream to become your reality. And you are working with those spirals of creation. And I'm also getting the imagery of the flower of life here. So sacred geometry, you might want to work with the flower of life as sort of like a meditation focal point. Maybe even drawing the flower of life. You know, that's a really great way to move into a state of meditation. But I also feel like this is about focusing on the light and not focusing on the stuff that is challenging or is frustrating or makes you feel like, you know, nothing is moving in a productive direction. Like, channel the energy elsewhere. And I believe that this has something to do with an idea that you've had or an inspiration that's about to be activated in you that you need to act on and move forward with. But it's going to require you to radically change like where you're funneling your time and energy here. Okay. Let this be your reality tunnel. Okay. Sunflower medicine coming in here. So this is more carefree, happy, sort of spirited kind of energy, playful energy that wants to come in for you. Right? If your nervous system has been a little frayed, you might want to get in a little sun butter. You might want to get in some sunflower seeds, you know, that might help you out. Maybe you struggle a bit when You know, it's darker out. I mean, we do see after the storm. So, like I said, it could be stormy where you are. Or it's just, you know, it's that time of year where you are, where if you're in the northern hemisphere, you're moving through more of the late fall, winter energy. Okay, so it can get darker. You might deal with some seasonal affective disorders. So if you do, I highly recommend that you focus on things that build the light within, that inspire you, that are playful, that are areas you want to direct your attention to. Let yourself have a little fun. Maybe you've been working too much. You need to balance it out a little bit. Bring some more playfulness into your work as well, okay? But also look at getting up those really nourishing EFAs, monounsaturated fats. Feel like that help a lot, okay? All right, let's dive into it. So now that we know your paths and how those look, I'm going to pull out the Kipper deck here. And we're going to look at what are the wild card elements ahead that you need to be prepared for here. You're going places. We got distant horizons here. And look, there's the 9 energy again. Some of you are dealing with a Virgo. I just keep feeling like that kind of hermit energy. There might have been a time where you had to kind of go your own way, and now your paths are realigning again. You may be traveling to see this person, or they're traveling to see you. There's distant horizons here. Okay. So again, I opened up your energy with like, it's a trip, you know, maybe you're going on a trip. The energy feels trippy. It's trippy for this person to come back around again. This was a ship that you wanted to come in a long time ago, and you're like, what? It's showing up now? It's ready to put down anchor now? Like, where was it back then? Maybe your circumstances have radically changed, and so this is a little out there. It's a trip. And it also kind of creates a little bit of maybe some complication too. Okay. You might have to activate your wisdom when you get this message here. Okay. I do feel like there's some kind of message coming in. It's something that opens up distant horizons to you. All right. Let's see. What is this that is coming in for Leo? And this is for any significant Leo placement, or if you have a prominent placement in the 5th house. Also, if you're an Aquarius rising, that makes you a Leo descendant. Okay. Not sure if I mentioned that or not. Like your energy was like I said, it was just so gabby when I dropped into it. I don't know if I mentioned it, but hey, even if you don't, you know, have any Leo placements, you still do have the house of Leo in your chart. Maybe you got a progression going on there. If you feel drawn to this read, you could have a transit that's affecting that area of your chart. So, you know, always trust yourself. If you feel like you need to tune into a read, even if it's not one of your signs, okay? Let's see. Let's check this out here. What other wild card elements does Leo need to be aware of here? There is some ending, okay? And I do feel that there is something that is coming to a close. And some of you may have recently actually dealt with, you know, closing out your time with somebody as they transitioned, you know, somebody passed away. And you might have recently been integrating this, the loss of somebody you really love, you know. I think you still feel very connected to their energy, because I saw 2828 on the clock with that. So yes. And you might be getting in that case, okay, this part's not for everybody, but it's for somebody. So I always speak to it when these kind of messages come in. I'm getting like a message from them coming in that's saying, please, you know, it's time for you to go and live your life. You know, we'll meet again. We'll meet again beyond the veil. Okay. You may have really been focused on this recently though, because we did recently have Halloween and Dia de los Muertos. And so you may have been creating some space, feeling their energy, thinking about them a lot. Okay. Lighting some candles. I can see that. Okay. I also feel like whatever this is, you are closing out something major here. It's like whenever you're moving away from, it's like this was when it all began. It's like a real line of definition that divides then and now, what you're stepping into. I feel that. Okay, so let's check this out. What wild card elements does Leo need to be aware of, prepared for, as much as they can be? I mean, because it's a wild card element. You know, it can come at you in a very unexpected way. It's something that is very sudden, you know, and it's not in the form you think it'll show up in. Okay, so do be aware of that when we're speaking of wild card elements. But if you kind of know the energy you have to embody to sort of like greet such an experience, then you can have a little bit of an advantage here, which is why we look at these details. What other wild card elements are coming into play for Leo as they prepare to open the road and head on up to that stone of destiny? Spirit, one more round. If nothing comes out, I'm going to do a cut. Okay, distant horizons. It may be saying like it's a distant horizon. It's not quite there yet. So one step at a time, possible. But let's see any other details here. Or perhaps there's a surprise element coming in. We did have that trickster energy. Maybe you can't be prepared for this, all right? Ooh, a fateful meeting. We have the lovers here. Okay, 15 energy around that. Reminds me of the devil in the tarot. So this could have been a challenging connection you had with somebody in the past. It could be a Gemini. It could be a Capricorn. It could be somebody who's a life path 6 here. Okay. So there's something that it's felt very far off, or you could be somebody that felt like, you know, I think I'm just going to be me, myself, and I. You may have been in hermit mode for a long time, just kind of going your own way, doing your own thing. You're not expecting for star-crossed lovers to have their paths cross. But there's some kind of alignment that comes in here. And it feels like a real lucky break. It's a sudden wealth coming into your life. 777 could be a number that indicates to you that this person's about to come in, or just like pay attention for clues, as well as the number 11 here. This could be a life path number 2. I also feel like you two could both be hermits. Maybe you also both have strong Virgo placements in your chart. But I feel like you both could be hermits, you know, in your own right, just sort of doing your own thing on your own path. And then all of a sudden you bump into each other in a very unusual way, I feel. But whatever this is, it suddenly makes you feel like you hit the jackpot. Okay, I got that. It could also be that somebody in this connection has recently come into some sudden wealth with the coffin opening up as the baseline energy. It could have been through an inheritance, okay? So I got that message coming in here. What's behind the sudden wealth? It's a main male here, okay? Life path number 1, you may hear from this person on the 1st of December. They could come in with the energy of the new moon, opening up a new pathway of exploration here. Some manifestation point. See, there's some kind of transformation happening here. And you are getting through that dark wood and you're getting to the clearing, to the sun on the other side. I feel like whoever this person is, whatever comes in here, it makes you feel like you're back in your element. Like this person brings you back into your element again. You may even go for a walk together somewhere in nature. You may go on a hike together. You may go for a walk in the woods. Maybe you used to do this a lot with this person. I feel like it's somebody that you may already know, okay? You may have even worked with this person before, with occupation coming in here. They may also be bringing you an opportunity to head in a new direction, okay, that opens up a new path in terms of your career that can bring you into some, you know, some solid dough here, man. It looks like an increase in finances, all right? So be on the lookout for this. It may require that you go somewhere far away from where you currently are, though, so that might be the wild card element. There could be a new path of transformation opening up for you that could really increase your finances, may even have you taking a new occupation, something like this, But in order to take this up, you're going to have to really like take a big leap. You might have to go somewhere you've never been before, start over in a totally new environment, make a major move, or there's something radically changing in regard to your current career. I do feel like there's a main male here that is facilitating this or bringing this opportunity. And it looks like it could be really good. And it may be somebody you've been romantically involved with before, or it could be somebody that you feel that initial attraction to, and maybe you're wanting to be closer to this person, but they're far away. So that requires that you're going to have to make some changes and probably, start looking at practically like, how am I going to do this? And maybe that's been on hold. You felt like there wasn't an opportunity. Yeah, there wasn't an opportunity for this alignment. It's been hard work trying to bring something together here with toil and labor. I also feel like you've just been working so hard. You haven't even really had like the space or the time to think of what other options could be, but somebody's presenting something here. That's what I got really strongly, okay? All right, let's see, what magics is Leo going to need to carry them forward on the path to the Stone of Destiny as they transform that South Node energy of fate into the stuff of their destiny with the activation of the North Node. Yeah, I mean, it's this effing guy. He's coming around. He's taking some really strong action here, this main male, bringing you some kind of opportunity. You do know this person. Like, you feel like you've known this person forever. You may go way back with this character here. They could be a fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, like you. I also feel like when this person comes around, you do feel like compelled to act. Like this person knows how to kind of put a fire under your butt, right? You both share fire. You might both share fire. You might both have a really strong Leo placement in your chart, this coming in. Two Leos together, maybe this has been a problem in the past, like one person always wanted to have the spotlight, like the attention on them, and so you guys would get into it with each other. That's kind of funny the way that's coming through here, okay? There also might be like a little bit of tension in this connection. I think there's soul recognition with this person. This person can sometimes be a little too controlling or combative as well. I'm kind of getting that energy coming in. I do feel like there's some kind of power that you are activating here in regard to this effing guy, okay? I feel like you are taking your power into your own hands in this situation. So this might be quite a different encounter if this is coming back around the bend, all right? So you're really being asked here to own your elemental power of fire at this time. You're meant to wield your fire wisely in dealing with this character. So there's a lot of layers to that. There's a lot of layers to that, okay? You don't want to expend all your energy at once. In other words, don't kind of exhaust your power in one big, bold move. You need to sort of bide your time, build up your power, and execute the use of it wisely. You also don't want to jump the gun. Don't be so reactionary, okay? If you're so reactionary, you may cut off a potential opportunity before it even gets the chance to be presented here, right? So let it burn a little bit, you know what I mean? Let it simmer a little bit in your soul here, Leo, so you can execute just the right amount of fire, because I do feel like it could get combustible, especially with two people that hold a lot of fire in their chart. This could get combustible. So you want to manage the way you use your power of fire a little wisely in this situation so it doesn't sort of cut off the potential for an opportunity. That's what I got, okay? You could burn a bridge before you ever get a chance to cross over it. You know what I'm saying? And you might be kind of quick to want to burn a bridge when this person crosses your path or this initially comes in for some reason. I feel it's sort of out of exasperation because there's a familiarity there, but you would really be turning your own fire against you if you do that, okay? So this is one of your magics here. You're meant to transform the way you've used your fire in the past as you move forward toward the activation. Your stone of destiny. Okay, bottom of the deck here. Yeah, we got Galaxy Dad here. Okay, so somebody could have a strong Saturn placement in their chart. I'm picking up Capricorn here. Some of you are dealing with Capricorn. Also, some of you have Capricorn North nodes, and you're like, look, I just want to get where I want to go. And I feel like I'm constantly just waiting, looking at the clock, and time's ticking here. And some of you have kind of like put yourself in that position, I have to say. Or somebody else feels like this. They may feel like they're waiting on you. You just will never, take the risk. You'll never, take the leap. Somebody here in this situation feels like, they're just left hanging out here. They may even feel a little bit betrayed. They may feel like they got caught up, had their time wasted. This could give you a clue about who you may be dealing with here. Could have a strong Capricorn placement. I'm also picking up the energy that this could be somebody you share a child with potentially. We've got Galaxy Dad here. Also, you've known this person for a long time. I know that because they've been thinking about reaching out to you ever since there were rotary phones. Okay, so not really, but somewhere out there in the multiverse, in a dimension, because all spaces of time exist simultaneously. There was this person who was doing the same thing back then as they are right now. Like, they got the phone in their hand, they're thinking about you, they want to reach out, they don't know the right words to say, they know that it's been sitting around for too long, this should have been dealt with ages ago, it hasn't been. Yeah, I do think that you will hear from this person. They kind of feel like they missed the most magical hour of all, I have to say, right? But they haven't. We just turned the clocks back. It's not actually 12:20 on the clock. It's 11:20. We're still in the 11th hour, okay? So I do feel like whoever this character is that you're hearing from, they're going to leave it to the last possible minute here. That's just their nature, okay? They really feel like they have to think of things over and over and over again. I mean, this could be you. Pick what side you're on. There's something here about harnessing the ability to bend time, okay? You might need to converge timelines here. You may need to figure out how can you speed up one timeline and slow down another so you can meet in the middle. Oh my gosh, and as I said that, this came out as a crossing influence. We have make up your goddamn mind here, okay? You could be dealing with a Gemini. You could have two options. You don't know which option to choose. You're just dividing yourself in two here. You're Rochambeauing it. You're like, rock, paper, scissors. Anything will go. Anything will go at this time. I just feel like I need to make a choice here, okay? So I do feel like one of the magics that you need to activate here is you really need to totally defrag your download channel here, okay? There's something here that's really outdated. You need to let go of some of your belief systems in this situation. It's actually what's causing you confusion because you're seeing things in too polarized of a way. You're like, it's this or it's that. It's black or it's white. It's yes or it's no. And that's not true at all. There's a way through that you haven't even thought of yet, and you'll find it. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, mind blown. My mind's free of being in this gridlock. If you're in gridlock internally, how do you expect to make anything move forward outside yourself? It's absolutely impossible. So again, meditation, the art of non-attachment, I feel is a special kind of magic for you right now, just to take out the trash so you can be liberated in the way you look at things. See, if you're liberated in your perspective, then no longer do you keep creating these same crappy scenarios, 4411 on the clock. You go, wait a minute, if I'm in charge of the reality tunnel that I create for myself, well, I'm going to follow the advice of Robert Anton Wilson. I'm going to create myself the happiest, most celebratory, most fantastic reality tunnel I can conjure up. And so maybe it's time to start conjuring up a new reality tunnel. You need to dismantle the old one. But the only way to do that is you got to like clean the window of the grid you're looking through, because it's become very obscured by other people's judgments, ideas, opinions, all this like looking to the outside. You know, you need to clear your vision for moving forward here. And I do have this like vibe of like defrag, man, like, you know, get rid of the faulty files. You need to totally create like space for new ideas, new concepts to come in here so you can find the way through. You do need to make up your mind. And with A and B, those letters could be playing a major role, okay? And they could be the initial of someone's name. They could be somewhere you've been thinking of going, may start with one of these letters, okay? This just coming in as a side note. I do feel like you're trying to figure out your path forward here, and you do have the medicine of Wolf on your side. Wolf is the pathfinder. This is a very good sign. And I do feel that you have Wolf here is howling and is trying to illuminate to you the inner path that leads to the outer path manifesting in front of you. Because the opposite to the sun is your moon. And you could be dealing with somebody that their moon sign is Leo, or whatever your sun sign is, they are that in their moon sign. So there's a similarity here. There's a synergy between sun and moon. I'm getting this. They might be trying to highlight something to you in relation to this. I also feel that when the full moon comes in after the Sagittarian new moon, that is the partner moon to the Taurus full moon we had on the 15th. On December 15th, we do have the Gemini full moon. That's when the path presents itself. I get it. You're no longer feeling divided. So there's some kind of purification that happens with the Gemini full moon on the 15th of December that liberates this confusion where you feel pulled in two directions, and you finally got that new reality tunnel mocked up for yourself. You might need to do some spiritual cleansing, particularly with that moon, just to really let go of that indecision, that feeling of being divided. And with the intention of finding the way through, I think this will be a great road opener. Road opening specific, but it's interesting the way the road opening work is coming through. It's more like you have to open up the road within you, because there's been a lot of construction work going on here. Right? Well, you got to take away the safety cones. You got to take out the roadblocks, and you know you have to make a passageway for what wants to come through before that road can rise up out of you and before you as you step ahead here. So there's something you need to pay attention to with this. Okay, I feel like that's how it's coming in. And the thing is you're hungry like the wolf, you know? So there's all these parts of you that are clamoring for attention. They all want to be fed. You could be dealing with a Pisces. This could be your blind spot that's about to be illuminated for you. There's something that you do need to relax around. Maybe you feel like there's all these different parts of you that are giving you some kind of guidance. Like you're getting all this intuitive guidance that's giving you information about your coordinates for your path ahead. But instead of just letting them all come in synergy so they can create harmony with each other, that comes through as one resounding common note that provides the way through, you feel like you have to just choose, choose one perspective. In fact, you may have a lot of perspectives or kind of ideas coming up that you feel like they're contradictory to each other. Like, it's either this or that, and it's not. They're actually all aspects that make up the way forward for you that you need to integrate. And Wolf is trying to tell you that. So listen to the parts of you that are just like screaming at you, like pay attention. That has something to tell you here. Listen to the part of you that finds things humorous. I feel like you need to bring more of that forward. You're taking things too seriously. You need to lighten up a bit. That is your natural essence with the sun, okay? Lighten up a bit. Also, we have this piece here too. Be the observer. There's the part of you that is really like recessed, that is observing things that can only be accessed. This information can only be accessed on the more subtle levels, which means you need to create that kind of quiet space, meditative space. You might want to go forest bathing, that could be really good for you. Get out in the woods, get lost for a while, go down a trail you haven't gone down before. You might want to take a compass with you, or, some way to find your way out of the woods. But I think that could be good for you to just create that space to explore and to be quiet and listen, okay? And then there's other parts of you that are really frustrated, where you get hard on yourself and you're kind of like almost like egging yourself on here, and you need to pay attention to those parts too. Because those may be the parts of you that feel like, look, I've been trying to tell you to do this for how long? And you're just like sitting here whining about not getting where you want to go. It's time to go there, right? And there also could be some hidden enemy aspects that you've been dealing with. I mean, certainly you could have been dealing with some difficult people, Mutable signs could have been very challenging for you. I get that, okay? You could have also been really having a challenge with Pisces, because Pisces is wolf on the medicine wheel. But what I feel here is that part of the problem is there's been too much tenseness around this, or holding on to it too tightly. You need to loosen your grip here and just let all of these parts of you have free reign. It may feel a little messy as you enter into that creative space. It's a play space though, and it's through that the path will emerge. I know you're going through the tempering right now. Remember, you have to really learn how to master your fire wisely. So part of what you're experiencing is the effect of, somebody else having the power in their hands now. You see what I mean? That's what happens when we misuse our power. Then we find that somebody turns that fire on us, and we get to experience what it's like being in the hot seat here. And this very well could be coming through if you have a really strong Pisces placement or in relation to a Pisces. And I say that because this is reminding me of the hangman and saying, hang in there. Okay, so you're almost through. You need to go through this though, so you could arrive at a truth. And it may be an unsavory truth, but this benefits you in the end. Your path is about to open up for you. Just hold on, okay? That's going to be turned around. And that effing guy could have something to do with this. This effing guy may be exercising, too much force. Hang in there. The tables will turn. It's that kind of energy. All right. And let me just do a final cut of the deck. I feel compelled to get one more message for you here about the magics you need to activate. Yeah, you have to allow the letting go to occur, because see, you're working with moth medicine right now. And before you can get to the beauty of the butterfly, remember you had the butterfly that came in with the pathway opening up for you. Let me see, let me find it, because I want to show you here. You already had this butterfly energy come in with this pathway that lights up, gives you the way out of the dark wood. Okay, I love when the symbolism sort of builds off of each other like this. I should have left it out. Here it is, okay? So this has something to do with the manifestation point that brings in that blessed up cycle, that sudden wealth, that alignment. It's also a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. You have to look at wealth from a more broader perspective as well. It's not just about having the money, you know what I'm saying, or the material things. It's also a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience, a wealth of wisdom to share through others. And maybe that's what you're meant to do, okay? But again, remember, you gotta loosen your grip. There's something you need to let go of here and release so it can transform. See, get to this stage. You see the monarch butterflies here. There may be a bit of an ancestral wisdom coming through here for you. This is what's going to lead to the transformation that puts you back in your element, back in alignment, and planet the sun. And it gets you out of the dark wood to the other side, to a time of that North Node activation dream activation, but first you have to move through the moth medicine. They share a very similar energy as butterfly, whereas butterfly has already gone through the transformation, now has earned their wings and is moving into that beauty of embracing the light and the expansion and the freedom of releasing the old form. You're still in this stage here where you have to let the shadow be transformed. What does the moth go into? A moth, like a moth to a flame, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to let the old life, the old view, this old version of yourself be completely tempered and burned away by the fire in order for you to come into the true essence of you. It's like everything false needs to be burned away here. And so it may feel like somebody else has the upper hand, but we have to remember that everything outside of us is but a mirror for us. And this person came in to help you come into alignment with your truth. It may be like being in the hot seat here, but it's time for this to be transformed so the new chapter can begin. All right. So I feel like letting go is a magic for you. Working with moth medicine, working with that medicine of the wolf, the pathfinder, allowing yourself to completely, radically change your viewpoint by allowing yourself to go through that fire. You might be surprised what opens up for you in terms of your view and how that changes your way forward. Okay, this coming in here. All right, let's dive into it. We are going to jump into your quest read now, and I'm going to use the Pluto and the Dark Tarot for this. So, traditional Rider Waite symbolism with this deck. So there might be something here. I mean, we see this. You're in this polarized space, black and white, yes or no. I think this is sort of going to bring some illumination about the way forward. One moment. Okay, so we're going to do your quest read. First, we want to figure out what is your quest? What is the nature of your quest? What is the nature of your road that leads to your destiny? Bottom of the deck, energy, temperance. See, you are balancing things out. You are in the place of doing the alchemical work right now. There is something you are meant to transform here. You might want to work with Metatron. Metatron is a very helpful archangel for bringing about transformation in a situation where you do need to activate the alchemist within you. There is a new beginning here. It will lead to some kind of success. It does lead to the attainment of your destiny. It arises out of you balancing out the situation. I feel like it's first balanced within you, then it will be balanced with another. This could be in relation to a Sagittarius. Also, Sagittarius is the house of philosophy. So this is changing your philosophy of life in maybe a way that is the difference in whether a situation can work or not, whether a road can open or not. This is also you embracing a sense of enthusiasm and optimism here, where you may have been more prone to looking at something in a really negative way. I also feel that there is some actual alchemy going on here. Some of you are on the path of the alchemist. You are purifying the cauldron of Dagda. You recognize that there was something that you weren't really in alignment with in the past. You had to move through the transmutation of those emotional waters before you could see something with clarity. And I feel like this is a refining process that you're going through now. Okay, so you're working on claiming that cauldron of Dagda. I do feel like you're still in this process where there's some things you need to see with greater emotional clarity. There's something that does need to be emotionally balanced out before this path to the Stone of Destiny opens up for you. So there's healing work you continue to do here. And it could be around a Sagittarius. But once you open this up, it has you setting your sights on distant horizons. And distant horizons can be things that you also thought like, oh, that'll never happen. Well, all of a sudden, never's here. Okay. Never's now. Never say never. A Romeo Void song. I love that song. Okay. Somebody also is not willing to accept no. Like they definitely feel like I have to do this. And it may even be they feel like a calling from spirit. Like I have to balance this out. This is part of the work that I'm here to do. And they know there's like no passing go until something here is rectified, okay? So this coming through, this is important. If you've had that sense, like I'm supposed to heal something with somebody, I'm supposed to balance something out with somebody, and you feel that very strongly in your soul, you're not wrong about that. I feel like the road can't open until you take care of that. So you might want to start, looking for openings to head in that direction. So you can open up that energy that's been locked up at the South Node and activate your North Node. Get on the road to the Stone of Destiny. Okay, so what is this quest here? Yeah, I mean, this is about your growth here. And it is about you doing the alchemy work on yourself before you really can come into alignment with another. So I feel like before you can be on track with that Stone of Destiny, there is something that you do need to alchemize within yourself. And I don't know why I keep getting this, but there's some radical departure in viewpoint, perspective, a storyline here, maybe even in character development. I just heard like you're going through a major revamp here, okay? And there's something that is shifting quite intensely for you. You will be able to turn that leaden stuff into the stuff of gold, but you're in process with this right now. This is the nature of your quest. It does lead you to some kind of riches, some kind of wealth, and all the definitions of what that means to you. You may have been chasing the wrong kind of wealth in the past. There's a new sort of road opening to a refined version of what wealth means to you. This is how it's coming through. What it means to be successful. What is the quest that is opening up for Leo on their road to the Stone of Destiny Spirit? What is the quest on the road to the Stone of Destiny Spirit for Leo? I just heard you may have been focusing too much on quick success and not really appreciating the journey enough. And there's something about that that's going to shift for you, especially as you see the way that the journey unfolds. You're going to see the beauty in it where you couldn't see beauty. Maybe you only saw it as like a negative. You only saw it as, a source of ire. I just heard. You might understand it differently in the future here. Yeah, and it's all about arriving to your North Node. So I do see that your quest is to activate the Stone of Destiny. After you balance this out, the road will open. And it could lead to an Aries. It could lead to a Taurus. These could be key figures that factor into this here. It could be somebody that you need to balance something out with here. Or if you have a strong placement, in Aries or Taurus, this could be, really moving yourself into that position of power. And, taking the heat that comes with that. When we take that seat in that position of power, it can be a hot seat. I see that, right? But there is something that you're alchemizing here. There is something that you do need to work out in order to activate your North Node. There could be 3 of you that are wrapped up in this, and there's something that needs to be transmuted here. Any further details about this for Leo in relation to this quest? So I feel like there's a little bit more work to do with purifying the cauldron of Dagda before you'll be prepared to move into the energy of being free of the South Node. It's like there's a choice you need to make here to not be so divided, you know? Yeah. Yeah, see, it came in like this. There's the lovers. It's that Gemini energy. You also have to remember with the Sagittarian energy coming in here, we're about to have Mercury retrograde go down on the 25th. That Mercury retrograde energy is going to be in Sagittarius. It's pretty much going to see us through the rest of the year. But wait, there's more. We currently have Jupiter, which is Sagittarian's ruler, in Gemini. It's a major transit. That transit's going to be with us until the nodes of destiny shift next summer. So we're really going to feel this in our communications here, and especially with relation to making really important choices about the path ahead. So there is something here where currently you're too much in the polarized position with it. You're really in that like back and forth energy. Sometimes when the pendulum's swinging, you just got to let it like lose momentum so it can settle into the center. So don't be so quick to chomp at the bit to move forward here. There are two that are factoring into your path here. One presents the path of knowledge and growth. The other leads you down a garden path. You got some angel energy here to help you transmute this and find the way through that leads to the stone of destiny, but you kind of have to let things settle, right? Don't use your fire the way you've used it before. That's what's burned some bridges for you. Currently, you're still too much in this position where you're trying to have it all figured out. It's kind of creating blockage on your path. You need to, continue to refine this energy a bit where you're no longer in that place of, is it this? Is it that? Where you're not in the past and you're not projected into the future, but you converge those timelines so you can be right here, right now, okay? That's when this road will open up for you. You have to be open to a different perspective or a different course, a different way forward than you've been willing to see up to this point before this road opens for you. And that's your quest. And I feel there are two challengers here, and they're presenting themselves as characters outside of you. They keep pulling you in two different directions, but they're actually just reflections of you. And once you really get this, it will crystallize the way through. I got that, okay? But this is your alchemical work to do. It's a challenge, but any good quest involves a challenge, okay? There is promise of you stepping into your power, taking up that position in the hot seat and wearing it very well, okay? Really owning your fire. And there's somebody very important here in relation to this that you're aligning with that will also allow you to hold that position of power, even as they hold theirs, okay? And it could be this too, like who gets to hold the power? Well, you both do in your own right. We all do at the end of the day, okay? And there's something about that coming through too. There is a very strong character that's going to factor strongly on your path. And they do play an important role in your destiny. All right, this will be interesting to see how this plays out. Let's see what your nemesis is, Leo. As you head on up to that stone of destiny, what is your nemesis? Who is the antagonist on your path? Or what is the antagonist on your path? A lot of it has to do with your work, the way you're working, how you're working at something, something there really needs to change. What you're invested in, what you're focusing your energy on. Yeah, whatever it is, it ain't going to be no more. There's a tower coming here, okay? What was working before doesn't work anymore. And something has to be completely dismantled here. You could be dealing with an Aries in relation to this. You could be dealing with an Aquarius in relation to this. There's also something that you need to overthrow here. I got that big Pluto in Aquarius energy coming in. We just had that transit, moved out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. So yeah, the rebellion is nigh. Do be prepared for a rebellion. Do expect that there could be a couple characters here that have had you caught up for a while, sort of making a break for it. This is like, you know, oh, well, you know, I'm going to abandon ship here because everything's sinking, okay? I feel like you may decide to pull up anchor and head toward a distant shore, one that couldn't have been anticipated by a couple that have had you held up. And this may be what's blowing people's minds, okay? This could be you really owning that fire, riding the lightning, taking a strong action to overthrow something that's had too much power over you for too long, because you finally do the work you need to do. And now you've alchemized that. You're not held down anymore. You transmuted something, and this is giving you the opportunity to have your rebellion, and it leads you in a positive direction, okay? So I feel like the only thing really holding you back, you may say it's other people, but it's not. The only thing that's really holding you back is yourself. And it's interesting because there's a little energy here coming in on my T tag, and it's reminding me of this. It's a good earth T tag. So you could be dealing with an earth sign energy. It could be a Taurus with that emperor energy that came in. Doesn't have to be, okay? But you could have been dealing with a real like sort of intractable situation, and it can be transmuted here. But there's something here to take in from this message that came in on this T tag. And it's from an unknown source, okay, which is just so fitting. And it says, don't carry your mistakes around. Instead, place them under your feet to use as stepping stones. So there also may be something that you're perceiving as a failure, and you don't understand that it's actually a stepping stone to your big win here, all right? When you see it, it'll blow your mind. But again, like your belief system, there's something here that radically needs to shift. And I do feel it would be coming through for you. It could be around your work or the kind of work that you're meant to do. It could also be about how to work out a particular issue, or how to work through a really challenging situation to get where you need to go, or just what works to move you forward instead of continuing to just sort of like stick to a real stubborn, intractable position that's just keeping you kind of like in the same place doing the same thing. And it was 1 12 12 on the clock with that. So yeah, karmic loop. That may be what breaks the karmic loop for you. All right. What is the spirit ally for Leo as they move forward toward the activation of their destiny? What is the spirit ally for Leo as they move forward toward? Ooh, I like it. Your spirit ally is to just be swift in cutting off what holds you back. And it's indecision. Okay. It's indecision. As soon as you come into center and you get that clarity, the way forward will be quite clear. And actually, what I'm really picking up is more spontaneity is required of you. You're trying to plan things too much. The more that you try to figure it out, the more you try to strategize, the more you try to put a plan in place, the more things get chaotic and go awry. It's if you can be in this space where you just sort of allow the answer to arrive instead of trying to get a grip on it, you'll find that the way through presents itself. And it makes itself very clear, very easy. You find the way through and you move forward quickly and decisively here. You'll know where you need to make the cut, okay? There also could be an ally coming through, an air sign for you. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Also, if you have a strong air sign placement in your chart, pull from that right now. Notice, what house is it in? What sign rules that house? Okay, and this can give you a lot of clues about what the way through is for you. What is an area you need to put more focus on that will allow you to clear a bunch of those roadblocks out of the way so your chariot can race forward here, okay? So, for example, we're just going to use it because it came in. Let's say that you have a strong Sagittarius placement and your Sagittarius placement is in the third house, and the third house is the house of Gemini, then that's going to give you a clue that communication is the quickest way to get through some blocks. There might be some kind of communication you need to issue. For some of you, this may be issuing the communication that something won't work for you, that you're pulling out of it. This could be giving a notice, a 2-week notice. I'm leaving this job and I'm going to open up to a new opportunity. This could be sending out resumes to head in a new direction. This could be answering the call that comes through or issuing a call to another. And whatever's done here opens up something that seemed like there was no way to make it work. It was way off in the distance. Well, all of a sudden it's right here, right now. Okay. So that's how you can use your chart to your advantage to figure out how these messages can get really rooted to you as the individual. All right. That's your ally. There's something you need to decisively cut off here. And there's something you need to actually take action with that's in alignment with your truth that opens up the road for you. And from there, you know, the road rises up to meet you. Okay. What is the, yeah, there's the balance. Wow. On the bottom of the deck, temperance. This is the balancing out. See, there's something you need to balance out with another here before this road opens for you. It very well could be a Sagittarius, okay? All right, let's check this out. What is the lay of the land for Leo as they move forward? What is the lay of the land for Leo as they move forward here? This tower, okay? Something here needs to be blasted open. This is a major road opener. It may be a bit of blockbuster energy. It may be what it takes. There might be rebellion nigh here. You could have people changing camps on you. You can't let that affect you. You have to have enough strength and self-assurance that you can believe in yourself and what's coming through you now. You may need to be the rebel, okay? I have to say, there's something here that's coming down one way or another. You either get to deliver that lightning, be strong enough to be able to obtain those gauntlets of Thor's hammer and bring that lightning down on another here, all right? Or bring down a house of lies. Like there's something here that you can either master or it will be your master. I got that. One way or another, this is coming down. And this could be in relation to an Aries. It could be in relation to an Aquarius. Either way, something's meant to happen because there's some position, some viewpoint, perspective you're holding here, way of doing things, working out something. It ain't working. And it needs to be done differently. And until this gets brought down, there won't be a way through. Some of you, if you do really hit up the meditation, you may find that you have a Kundalini activation. Boom! It blows your mind. All of a sudden, the path within you is clear. The download comes through you. All of a sudden, oh, all right, the old way is gone. I know the way ahead, but we know very strongly with your energy, something must close here for you to have this way forward, right? That's the lay of the land. You got a tower up ahead. You may say, I've already been through a lot of towers. No, not the tower, though. Not if you're honest with yourself. It's kind of the difference between big T truth and little T truth. You've had subjective towers related to things other people have done, actions they took, mistakes they made, you know, ways you feel you suffered as a result of that, okay? And then there's the big tower, the big T tower, where it's your awakening. It's your moment that you're completely like in brand new territory. But what I feel is it's almost like you've taken on like some false identity, false projection, false persona. And something's happening here that's putting you back in touch with your true essence, right? That's lay of the land, man. There's no way out but through here, okay? Yeah, and it's something that is kind of like a blind spot for you right now. And it could be brought on by a Pisces here, I have to say. The hidden enemy could actually be something within you, okay, that you're not aware of, but it will come through. That's what I got. Let's see what the beef is. What is the meat of the matter as Leo heads on up the activation of their stone of destiny? Yeah, you got to pull out investment in some area. You've been waiting here way too long. You've been trying to grow something in a particular direction for too long with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Nothing will grow from this. There's no growth here. It's time to open your road and be willing to let the world turn. Be willing to just be open and see what wants to come through here with the 2 of Wands. Okay, this is what will bring about your alignment. Let me see here, do a cut of the deck and see what we got. Ace of Swords, that's the truth, you see. Before you can even move forward, before you can take the action to actually step on a path that leads to your destiny, you have to align with your truth. And this truth will bring you that victory. It will lead you to that North Node activation, but you got to live by that truth. And with Fragorok, the sword of truth, it's known as the answerer. Once you arrive at this truth, all of those answers that you've been trying to find outside of yourself, they crystallize. They become very clear. You understand that, oh, I was the way through all along. I kept looking for the answers from others. No, I have the answer within me, okay? And this is what is coming into alignment for you. So I feel like there has to be some kind of disillusionment here revealed to you. It may feel harsh to you. Sometimes truth is harsh, but this is what puts the power of the answer in your hands. It's what allows you to take that decisive action, to cut through illusion, to find the way through and race ahead. So you are currently working on obtaining a couple of these treasures of the Tuatha De Danann right now. You may have arrived at what you thought was the truth. No, not yet. You think you have, but this is coming. It requires a tower. So I know there's something here that you've still been investing in, or you're really invested in it because you think it's the truth. And then when the truth actually comes through, it's going to blow your mind. I feel like there may even be a bit of beef about this. You know what I'm saying? There might be some argument about this, like whose truth is the right truth, but there's something here that you think it's true, but new information, new puzzle pieces are coming in here that create quite a different picture, and it changes your view. And for some of you, it's so radical, it even changes your worldview, something you were very set in, and suddenly you see something in a new way, okay? This is going to come in the winter time, right? So create the space for the truth to enter. There has to be a way for this truth to dawn on you. And I keep getting this piece about meditation, you know, clearing the decks, just allowing things to come through unobstructed, having that openness where you're willing to see a different view. Willing to get a different perspective will help you greatly here. And there may be somebody rushing in here, and there's some kind of communication that they issue. It could be an air sign that brings this truth that sort of cuts through an illusion for you, okay? What do we have on the other side here? Once you do that, then we can get to the cauldron of Dagda here. It's like one thing leads to another. You know what I mean? First, you have to see the truth. First, the falseness needs to fall away. Once you're aligned with your truth and you're willing to go through the fire of transformation for that truth, because that's what happens when you really align with truth. You'll burn for it. You'll sit in the hot seat. It doesn't matter. You don't need to argue about it. Just showing up in your truth is enough. Then there will be the opportunity to get that cauldron of Dagda after healing is experienced here, okay? There's disappointment here, something you want to see healed. It may be some kind of third-party situation. There may be something in this situation that is creating separation between two paths or two people that need to come together. You may not realize that you are the one that's blocking the way. You've got your arms crossed here. That's not very receptive, you see. But once you arrive at this truth, it will allow you to actually let down your defenses so you can reach out your hand and you can take this cup of inspiration the sylphs want to bring your way. You need to look up, man. You've been looking down too much. You're like looking down at the south node too much. You're looking down at your own experience, kind of like, you know, just looking at your perspective, pondering your navel here. There is something that's coming in here about there's others involved in this situation too. It's not just you. And there needs to be a radical new view in order to find a way forward here. Okay. You need to look up. Your inspiration is up. Again, ether, air energy. Look up. Okay. Sylph energy. There's some kind of inspiration, some kind of guidance that comes through for you through the sylph energy, through the spirits of the air. Okay. That's where the inspiration is. It's also that sense of optimism that as you look it up at your north node and where you need to go and what needs to fall away within you to clear the road work you've done out of the way, all right? Clear away the blocks, okay? So you can actually drive through. You can't drive through. There's no way forward for the chariot if you still have all the roadblocks in place. There's blocks in place that need to be cleared here. So this sort of like looks like the beef of the matter. The beef in the matter is there's too much investment in the beef. Like, no, it's my way. This is how I see it. This is my truth. This is what I feel. Okay. Or there's somebody in this situation that is in that position. And there's a need to communicate, to cut through this. First with the self, you know, then perhaps with others here. And then the road will open. Okay. What are the consequences that Leo is going to have to deal with as a result of their past actions in this situation, Spirit? What are the consequences that Leo is going to have to deal with as a result of their past actions in this situation, Spirit? What are the consequences that Leo is going to have to deal with as a result of their past actions in this situation, Spirit? You got to let it go, man. You got to let it go. I mean, you're just dancing with the devil and you keep expecting you're going to get another tune, but you're not. You're staying chained in the South Node energy. You're not allowing the rebirth to happen, right? And until you really recognize this, the way that you are tripping yourself up, okay? So this is a bit of that coyote medicine, you know, where you're keeping yourself in this position because you're not ready to relinquish something that is actually trapping you in the South Node energy. This is resisting what needs to come to an end. You could be dealing with a Scorpio in relation to this, okay? Let's turn this energy around here. All right, so it's sort of saying one way or another, this has got to go. It's got to go, and you can draw it out as long as you like. You can do it quickly, like that Knight of Swords, and rip it off like a Band-Aid, right? Or you can sit here and nurse it as long as you like. You may even feel like a bit of a martyr in doing that. If that is a pattern for you, okay? If that is a pattern for you, or if you're devoted to somebody who's playing this role, do understand that that is a position of self-sacrifice. And what you're sacrificing is your own empowerment, your own fulfillment, your destiny. This needs to be transformed. It's going to go one way or another. And that may be actually what's bringing a tower in this situation. Or you could be bringing a tower to another and freeing yourself of this whole arrangement because you recognize the way it's been keeping you in a holding pattern, right? You'll know how it's coming through for you, all right? Let's see, what are the consequences that Leo is going to need to deal with in this situation as a result of the past actions? again, look at this. You got to stop holding on to some source of pain, something you keep telling yourself that you're separated from it, or you were unfairly cast aside here. You feel very self-righteous about it. There's a position you're holding the line with here that's actually really blocking you from moving forward. And I keep getting that it's coming through in some stance you're taking, some perspective you have here, that you're not recognizing the position of other people in this situation. And once you do, and once you settle this, and once this is released, I think it might need to take a tower. Like there might need to be some moment of illumination that comes through here, but whatever it is, it does open the road for you, okay? One way or another, this needs to be addressed. One way or another, something does need to be settled here. Something does need to be balanced out. And until that's done, as much as you may want to arrive in that seat that you envision yourself sitting in, you're not going to be able to get there until this is addressed. It's part of the road forward. It's part of what opens up your road. It is the work to be done. This feels like something that you've known needed to be done for a long time, and it's been on hold for way too long, okay? It's part of the karmic work to be done. This must be completed. It's like it's trying to jump from point A to Z without first handling B. You had A, B. You've been sort of dancing around with this for a while. You haven't wanted to face it. That's what I feel. But you have to face it. And then everything becomes so much easier after that. And in fact, once you face it, you feel such relief. Okay. So, that's sort of the meat of the matter, and it is what needs to be dealt with. It is the consequences that need to be dealt with here. Let me do a cut of the deck on that, okay? Since it's been so polarized, let's make it really clear. Yep. Once you take that action to deal with this, then you do find the way through. You get the power back in your hand, and you do feel like you're back in your own element. And it has something to do with facing something that maybe you were hoping you could get away with, you thought you could just like find your way around that. Let me just sneak out of here before, anybody realizes what went on back there. No. It's a moment of accountability, and it's important. And it also, for some of you, is just recognizing the way that you've actually been holding yourself up, that you've been blaming it on other people. And it's a pattern you've had in place. It's a sabotaging pattern, and you're getting over it. And yeah, maybe you did make a mistake. I mean, that did come in on that T tag, right? Maybe you did make a mistake. It's okay. Get over it. Are you going to, berate it, for all eternity here and keep yourself stuck? And then also like try to blame other people. Well, I made the mistake because this person did this and this. That's the problem here. It's like as soon as you own it, you can recognize how in making that mistake, I learned something. And in learning that really changes the way I'm moving forward here. And I can see it as a stepping stone to my future success. So is it a mistake after all? Or is it just a valuable lesson, right? That plays a role in your destiny. We're all in the process of learning things here, right? Somebody you're dealing with may have made a mistake. You're like trying to hold them accountable. You've made it your mission to make things even there or punish them for some mistake they made. Well, they taught you something with their mistakes too. Okay, so I feel like this is a little bit of mutual reflection. One way or another, there's accountability here, and it's for your part and transmuting this energy so it can open your road. I do feel you get through it. I mean, that Ace of Wands, that's good energy. That does show that you will get that power back in your hand, but not without dealing with something first. And you can't try to seize the power or do it in a sneaky way. It doesn't work like that. Not when you're dealing with the Tuatha De Danann, and not when you're working with fairy. It don't work like that. And that's what we're working with here when we're working with the quest energy. You think you're going to trick the fairy? Do you? You think you're going to find your way around the ferry? Good luck with that. Okay, there's something here. You got to align with your truth, right? And you got to get the power in your hands through rediscovering it within yourself and transmuting what has held you back in these old patterns. Then look at that. Beautiful. What do you got? You got the Chariot. Your way through. You find the way through. No longer polarized. You find your way through. Okay. There's a new perspective you're gaining here. It's powerful. Okay. So let's check this out. What is the power to be gained through self-mastery for Leo as they head on up to that north node, to the stone of destiny? What is the power to be gained by Leo as they head on up to that north node and they activate that stone of destiny? What is the power to be gained by Leo as they transmute what's been holding them back through mastery and they prepare to head on up to that north node? Oh, well, now we're cooking. I'm getting two messages with this. First of all, I feel like you're retrieving something from the archives of the past. And when I say past, I feel like this is deep, deep, deep past. This could be a magic you held as a child, but as you grew and you got to sort of like responsible and set in your ways, you lost this magic. You're retrieving it. It may even be a very young part of you that's coming forward saying, hey, remembering this, remember this. Hey, remembering this. Ooh, you're remembering. You are bringing back in a part of yourself that you sort of laid to rest as a child, I feel. This is some kind of soul remembering, reintegration, okay? This is going to be helpful for you in obtaining the cauldron of Dagda. I feel like it's a way that you used to look at the world as a child, so maybe a certain innocence you're reclaiming. I also feel that there is an important person in connection with this. There's a soulmate that is coming on to your path that will help you recover this part of yourself. It could even be somebody you knew as a child. Something will flower as a result of this. Okay? You need to reclaim this part of yourself that was left behind in the past. I keep getting it's a magic you had as a child. And you may have left it behind to such an extent that it's almost like repressed. You may not remember this until it starts to just resurface in you. 6 weeks will be the activation of this. Once you reclaim this magic, you will have the opportunity to align with a significant soulmate here that you're meant to do some healing work with. You have to have this magic before you dive into this, though. I feel that really strongly. This person will help strengthen that magic in you too. They'll nurture it, whoever you're coming into contact with here. Okay? And whatever this magic is, it's an empowerment for you. And it is the cauldron of Dagda. Okay, so that's the power to be gained, the cauldron of Dagda. But this is how it comes through for you. Let me get some more details about this for you, Leo. What is this power to be gained through mastery for Leo as they head on up to that stone of destiny? What is the power to be gained? Look at this. So this is you really releasing what has been a burden for you, what has been oppressive for you. See, there's this lightning energy that wants to come in, but you're so like, so attached to all this stuff that's actually really weighing you down and burdening you. It's what's keeping you in this place of indecision and making you feel like your destiny is eluding you. But it's something that you continue to try to use as like the template of what you're creating here. And it just keeps kind of misfiring. So if you've been doing any kind of alchemy work, if you've actually been doing workings, there's something that you're doing here for those of you who are wizards, okay? And you've been trying to call something into being. There's something you're doing here that is founded on sort of a faulty way of doing things, or it's like a perspective that isn't really matching what's going on in terms of what's needed in a situation, that's continually requite. It's almost like having a hard time coming out of my, here we go, Mercury retrograde. It's already coming in. First of all, don't be trying to do any workings during Mercury retrograde. It will misfire here. There's a new perspective you need. I mean, reworking something, okay, there's something you need to revision here. So if you've been throwing stuff around, we're already in pre-shadow. This one's a doozy. This one's a doozy, okay? See, there's something in the communication link that is creating misfires here. It's going to create continual imbalance. Let it rest. Let things settle a little bit here. That's what will lead you through to the victory you desire, okay? Don't keep throwing more at it. In fact, you may be kind of trying to call something in that from your current perspective, it would be a big win for you. You see it as victory, and it's actually something that will create a lot of instability in your life here. You need to master this a little bit more. Stop trying to throw more at it. It's complicating things. It's creating more stability than it is bringing things into alignment. If you took your hands off of it for a bit, then you'd have an opportunity for not only you to be less burdened by this, like less weighed down by it, less confused and in the dark, but actually to start to have some, my gosh, clarity in the situation. This is what's crossing. You have to stop trying to fix something here. Stop trying to fix something here, and then the right solution will approach. All right. You'll find a new way to sort of like swim through those waters, find your way forward, especially in relation to a Pisces, okay? Especially in relation to something that's operating as a hidden enemy in this situation. It's your blind spot. Of course, you can't see it. You keep trying to throw stuff at it. It's stirring up everything on the bottom there, and it's making everything murky. And it's just causing, you know, what you want to come in for you to get washed out to sea here, right? You could be dealing with a character too that is kind of stirring things up for you as well, but you can't see it because instead of just sort of observing, remember, pay attention to that wolf within you, the one that wants to observe. There's something you need to observe here so you can understand where's the destabilizing element coming from. You won't see it until you take your hands off of it and kind of pull back a little bit here, okay? Then it will become crystal clear to you. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's at stake for Leo and their party, those who are meant to join them as they find their way forward on the road to the Stone of Destiny? What's at stake for Leo and their party? This alignment. I'm telling you, the alignment wants to come in for you. It does. But instead, there's something that you're just fixated on. It has to look the way you think it should look. And that's what needs to be sacrificed. You're seeing it as a disappointment, something that happened here, something that was sacrificed, something that needs to be released. You're viewing it as like the end of everything when it's actually the beginning. And that's what you need to get a new perspective of here. You're going to prevent the alignment of you coming into contact with the correct path and the one you're meant to share that road with if you continue to fixate on this. It's time to do what needs to be done to bring healing to that situation, to transmute that situation so you can finally be ready to come into alignment with the path that does lead to your North Node, all right? Let me get a cut of the deck here and see what comes in relation to that. Yeah. You see? There's a truth that you need to discover. You have anxiety about looking at this truth. I feel it. I think the anxiety comes around the area of maybe feeling like you made a mistake, or you did something too soon, or you made a choice that you feel is what's costing you, what you feel is your destiny. But that's not true. The mistake is the foundation of your destiny, and you're not understanding that right now. So there's some truth that needs to be acknowledged first. And this is Cancerian energy coming through here with the Chariot that leads you forward. You could be born on the Cancer Leo cusp here. There could be a challenge you're dealing with a mother. You know, you're really at odds. You can't seem to agree. You can't find the way through. There might be something that you need to like open yourself up to here in relation to that, where you really feel at odds with another. There's something that they're highlighting that maybe you need to see and you don't want to see it. I know that. There's anxiety here. I also feel like you do need to do some warding, okay? Because there may be too many other outside energies, opinions, storylines, you know, what they feel is true, you know, that is kind of clouding your own judgment here. So do some warding at night so you can get some restful sleep, right? Maybe make yourself a dream pillow, tuck a little mugwort in there. Maybe put a little angelica root in each corner of your bedroom to ward the space from outside interference. Do a little smoke cleansing, you know, call in a circle of protection around you. Just mock up a bubble of protection around you. Any way you want to envision that, however it's inspired to come through you, to just give you some space, your own little bubble that you can be in at night, where you don't have to take on outside energy. You may have felt like some energy tapping into the dream space. I think you've allowed people to have too much access to your energy through their own opinions, their own advice, how they've been guiding you in a situation, and that's causing a lot of confusion for you. If you want to arrive at a point of celebration and healing here, there's something about making sure that you're not allowing too many people to weigh in on something that's actually highly personal for you, okay? Mm-hmm. And if you're stressed out because you realize a mistake was made and you don't know how to heal the situation, you know, the best thing you can do is make it less complicated. So get as many other people's, you know, opinions and viewpoints and all that out of the way so you can get clear within yourself. Because until you're clear, no clear direction will present itself. All right. We know that. We know that. Okay. All right. What's at stake for the new world that Leo wants to see come into view? What is at stake for the new world that Leo is wanting to bring into being here, Spirit? What is at stake for the new world that Leo is wanting to bring in here, Spirit? What's at stake for the new world that Leo is wanting to bring into being? You stepping into that place, really owning your fire and being able to take that action that puts you back in the seat of power, you see? There's something secret operating here that you need to be aware of. It may be a secret that you have buried within yourself, okay? But you will arrive at it. Or you will solve this riddle. You do find a way through. You got a chariot here. But there's something that you do need to let go of. And it could even be something that you thought was supposed to be your victory, your celebration. This is what was going to heal me. This is what was going to make everything right. No, this is what needs to go. It's preventing the proper alignment. There's something here about something so beautiful is brewing for you, but it's being spoiled because it's not matching up to what you thought it was supposed to be. You'll like how it turns out if you go with this flow. But until you're ready to let that go, I mean, there may be a tower that needs to come in here to open that road. Sometimes you got to blast a road open if it's been blocked for too long. You know what I'm saying? There's been a landslide here, and it may have blocked a way through. And I got that song Landslide, Fleetwood Mac coming through. Okay, so there could be a big clue there. All right, let's see what we got here. What's at stake for this new world that Leo wants to bring into being here, Spirit? What's at stake? This new world that Leo wants to bring into being that aligns with their destiny. It's heading south, man. Something's being released here. This could be somebody you were really committed to. This could have been a position you were really committed to. This could have been like what your end goal was, some kind of success you wanted to achieve. This is a dream you've been building for a long time. And it's heading south, whatever this is. And I feel it's because it needs to be completely restructured. Like there's something you're not seeing here. And until this is released, you won't see it. To me, this is like an old dream you had. And you were so focused on having this come to pass in your life. That's like you're not willing to look at evidence that's clearly telling you this ain't it. This is not it. And there's a lot of resistance around this. I do feel like this is about to head to that point of a tower, okay? It's been what's blocking you, but it's quickly heading south. This could be in relation to an earth sign energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We do have real strong Taurus indications here, okay? Again, this could also be like a position you've held for a long time. And you may have had a lot of pride in that, or you may have been very stubborn about maintaining that position. I don't want to lose that seat. Well, be grateful you're losing this seat because you're meant to, step up into this seat, at the North Node. There's something that needs to be released here if it's going to be transformed. All right. And you may have been struggling with this for a couple of years now, a few years now. This could even go like 5 years back. It could go 5 years back to an old cycle when you were calling this dream into being when Taurus was up in the North Node. Well, that's long gone here, man. This is a new cycle. There's a new way forward now. Everything is different now, and that's what really needs to be recognized. If you want to call in your destiny here, it's a higher station in life. So there's nothing that can be done in relation to this. It's like it fulfilled its purpose. It's blocked you for a long time. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't willingly step out of the crossroads and release something, then sometimes it's ripped from you through a tower. And I feel like that's what's up ahead here, okay? Your commitments are changing. What you were committed to is going through a revisioning here. You can't move forward the way you did in the past. Something definitely needs to change here, okay? Let me do a cut of the deck and see what we got on that, Leo. Yeah, there's something to learn here. You're learning something here. And what you learn here, okay, you may feel like you're relinquishing something, but it gives the birth of a brand new beginning. Do you see? With the Queen of Pentacles upright, right? Ted just said yes to that, okay? So this is about you coming into alignment with your destiny. And along the way, that may mean that there's another that you thought you were going to share that with that has to go. Because instead, you're coming into alignment with somebody new, okay? Or it could be somebody you're meant to heal things with that was left behind. Now the timelines are catching up. See, yours is being slowed down so you won't miss this juncture. because theirs is speeding up to catch up to you at this point of time. And then you'll make the choice of the lovers. You'll step out of the crossroads and you step forward in a new way. Could it be this individual is going through a radical transformation? They're not ready for you? Yeah, it could be. It could be that they are being slowed down. They thought they were going to race ahead somewhere and you were getting left behind. Well, now they're getting slowed down. So, they have a chance to see something they couldn't see before, so they can integrate something they need to integrate. They learn a powerful lesson. Right timing comes in when this links up. One way or another, there's a letting go process going on here, and it's necessary for the new world you want to see come into being. It's part of your destiny. It's a learning cycle for you, okay? Let's check this out here. What is the cookie that wants to come in for Leo? What is the sweet treat, the sweet reward that wants to come in for Leo for doing the work, okay? Hello. The cauldron of Dagda, the healing, the renewal, the connection, overcoming what held you back in the past, Leo, earning your wings. Look at this, rising on up to that north node with the proper alignment, okay? You can't force alignment. It comes when it's meant to come. And you don't have control in this situation. You don't. Something higher has a hold of that wheel right now, I have to say. When the alignment comes, you'll know. There will be no question about it. The decision will be very clear. It will be a liberating influence, right? But before that can happen, you got to let whatever this is come undone. It has to be sacrificed to the south node so you can move on up into this, okay? That's quite a reward. It's beautiful alignment. 2 of Cups. Somebody else shares your vision here. They may not know it now, but they will at some point. Okay, what is the cookie? What is the sweet reward that wants to come in for Leo here, Spirit? What is the cookie? What is the sweet reward that wants to come in for Leo here? Oh, wow. Okay, do you see? This is really wild. Okay, this came out upright. The 3 of Wands. Okay, those ships that were washed out to sea, they want to come in. Okay, that's the cookie. That's a sweet reward. But you see here, we got this like cross heading south. It's something that you used to view as, this is my arrival point. This is my destination. This is the dream come true. This is the successful finish to this storyline. This is my happy ending. This is the person I'm supposed to share it with. There is something here that is being sacrificed to the south node. So what you truly want that will bring in this celebration can come into proper alignment, all right? We know that something that is your destiny is ready to come in, but it can't until you let go of the old dream. There's a new vision that wants to be born here. That's what's coming through, all right? Let's see, what is the target that Leo should aim for with the cycle that gets kicked off with the new moon in Sagittarius, November 30th, December 1st, depending on where they are in the world. They can get them heading in the right direction. Whoa, I didn't even notice this. It's flipped up in the middle of the deck. I didn't see it. The 10 of Cups. That's the rainbow coming in after the storm. I have to say, this one was really wanting to present itself, sort of sliding out here. So let me see what this is. Okay. There is a sabotaging influence here. And I feel like it's really coming through as a sabotaging influence. It's like you still want to have victory in a situation that ain't it. Or you want to get back at, a couple others that you feel, caused you to lose this victory you wanted, or caused you to have to sacrifice some dream here. This is what could totally sacrifice this 10 of Cups, this promise of what is on the other side of the storm for you. See, this transformation wants to come in. The way forward wants to come in. But you have to let go of this like get even kind of energy, or I'll show you kind of energy. It's keeping you held back here. There is a sabotaging influence that to continue to put your energy in this direction is a betrayal to your destiny and this happiness that you want to see come in. Okay? So it's about sussing this out. And I feel like I have to say, it seems like it's likely something that's coming through you. It may appear that it is outside people interfering. And I'm not saying that they haven't been, but it's like your fixation on that that's actually causing you to get held up here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, you had a couple ditch you, you know, they left you behind. They left you holding the bag. I mean, be grateful for that. Because what's meant for you never can be taken from you. So good. Get out the way. You know, don't waste your time strategizing against them or trying to direct more of your energy to figuring that out, like you're wasting your time here. Just do what you need to do for yourself so you can direct your focus in the correct way so it doesn't hold you back from what is waiting for you here. This is beautiful energy. It's fulfillment. It's also fulfillment with another. And see that piece about like the young part of you waking up? It's like this wakes up magic for you and another. It's like you're recovering very young parts of yourself. You're recovering some kind of magic you had before all this crap of this game called life got in the way that, you know, caused you to bury the best parts of yourself. You're on a similar journey with another here, and you're just moving at different speeds, okay? So whatever this was that caused some kind of sabotaging influence, like forget about it, you know? They'll learn their own lessons. It's not really your concern, okay? Because there's something that is really lining up here for you. But you need to get your sights set in the wrong direction. You need to get your sights set in the wrong direction. Isn't that interesting? That brings you victory? You need to get your sights set in the wrong direction. Maybe it's a direction that like you already kind of like cast aside. Like you're like, no, that ain't it. Maybe upside down is right side up. You need another look at something here. That's going to make sense to you as you get close to the new moon. I don't know what that energy is, but that came out for a reason. You need to get your sights set in the wrong direction. It's the direction that you've already sort of like nixed. Yep. And look at that. That's what gets you out of the crossroads position, and it moves you into your power. It's a secret right now. It's unknown to you. It will become clear though. Ted says yes. Let me do a cut of the deck here and see what we got. Yep. You see, there's something about this. There's something about like the competitive air, like really wanting to quest to be the victor in a situation that just gets you caught up, man. It gets you caught up. It gets you caught back up into these old machinations, okay? And then before you know it, you know, you're back in a tit for tat, okay? Don't get into that position again here. There's something, a surprising twist that's coming in here for you. Let me get some numbers for you, Leo. We really went a long time with you. I think that happened last time with Leo. Leo's been needing a lot of space lately to be held, okay? You might need to create some space for yourself, Leo. See, I feel like that's kind of the energy. It might be taking up too much room in situations that don't really concern you, and as a result, you're not exploring a direction that you've sort of written off. It's very key for you here, okay? It'll become clear. Let's get some numbers for Leo. Okay, yes, we got snake eyes here. Okay. So something is like no go. You do need to let something go here for sure. And that's what will bring you into alignment here with the 2 energy. We also have life path 1. We have life path 2. The new moon will be quite significant for you. Okay. The 1st and the 2nd of December, a lot will be coming in there. Pay attention. I feel like the energy really roots in material reality as you move into January. January, February, there will be a lot of new beginnings in those months. Okay. You also could be dealing with a life path number 4 in this situation. You could be any of these life path numbers. All right. That's what I have for you, okay? There's not a moving forward yet, though. There's something that needs to be resolved here. Let me get some letters for you as well. Get you some messages, just to give you some details. When names come out, it could be your name, it could be a name of somebody you're dealing with, a name of somebody that is coming in that you don't know yet. It could be a name kind of marking a challenging influence, all right? You have to just trust your intuition. And also, do remember, they are collective reads, and not every message is for you. Don't take on something that isn't for you. All right. You've been working a lot of overtime lately, I see. Okay. You might want to cash in some of your paid time off so you can just give yourself a little bit of a break. I think that could be beneficial for you. You might be considering going more part-time with a job as you explore heading in another route, just because you recognize maybe you're dealing with like a little burnout in a situation. Okay. Some of you are looking to go back to school. I have ECU. You want continuing education unit. Some of you are considering maybe getting into physical therapy. You may work in healthcare. You want something that could be, long term for you. Some of you may be going through physical therapy. You might have had to get some time off from work. Maybe you had some kind of injury on the job. You may be needing an MRI. You may be getting that scheduled. I also see DC here, which is making me think doctor of chiropractic. Okay, so you may be seeing the chiropractor. You may have had something going on with your back. You may be getting an MRI that's being ordered for that coming in, okay? Maybe your job requires you to be really physical or be on your feet a lot, and you might be going through a tower. It may feel like it's rocking your stability. I just saw wow with that. Okay, so I don't know, maybe that's hitting for somebody. Direct hit, like, yep, that's what I'm dealing with. Okay. It may be because you really need to stop. Okay. You may be concerned about your stability, but I feel like you're going to be okay here, right? I do feel like you'll be okay here. Yeah. I do feel like money is a big concern for you because money is coming out. Where you are worried about that, I do feel like you'll get what you need, to be able to support you while you heal, if you did deal with some kind of injury. Some of you are getting in that line of work, all right? You might be wanting to become a physical therapist. You might want to become a chiropractor. Maybe you used to work for a chiropractor. You're thinking about getting back into that line of work, okay? Made you a lot of money. It was stable, okay? We do have wizard here. Okay, so yes, you may have been doing some alchemy work. You may be dealing with others who do alchemy work. All right. And in relation to that, I have some initials for you. I have B, I have C, I have T, I have I have F, I and F really connected to blocking energy in relation to that. Okay. That's coming through. In that case, the home may have been a target, like trying to create division within a home, rocking the stability of a home situation. The energy may have felt off at home. And with that, I'm getting honey. So somebody may have done like a sweetening jar or something to try to make somebody sweet on them. Oh, that could have backfired. Okay. And I just saw me, like, it was me. I did that. Yeah, that might be more than you bargained for. Somebody might be too sweet on you. That could be causing some problems. That could be something that's blocking you right now and being able to move forward, actually. All right, let's see what else wants to come in here. I'm going to come in for somebody. Okay, I got bet here. All right, so somebody's about to take a gamble. Let's see what kind of gamble they want to take here. I mean, they might be taking a gamble to earn some kind of money, get some kind of quick money. And with that, I got the name Cindy coming in with that. Okay. Cindy wanting to, something to do with a gamble to get some quick money. I got hoe as in HOE, like that's a rough road to hoe. As in the gardening tool. Most people don't know how to spell the slang term. Okay. I feel like be careful with that. It may be more work than you expect. You may think it's quick money. It may be more work than you expect. Maybe more than you bargained for. Okay. I got run with that. Yeah. Whatever that is you've been contemplating there, I would run. I don't think that would work out quite the way you think it would, okay? Just be mindful. It could be linking up with that person too. You might want to be careful about that, whatever that is. Okay, I got the name Ben coming in relation to that as well. Wow. That's a very specific name. I got the name Hector coming in connection with that as well, okay? I got Maine. I got Wyoming. That's what I got. Okay. Letters, we got H, we got E, we have quite a few E's here, actually. We have 3 E's, so E is significant. We have B, we have C, we have M. We have a couple M's coming in there. We have 3 W's, WWW. This is something that's going on online. There could be a website of significance. You could be doing some work online, okay? You might be looking to do more work online. That's something that could be coming in for you. I got L coming in relation to that. I didn't notice that it got laid down like that, but like L magazine. So there may be an opportunity to do some work with a magazine, maybe in the fashion industry that could be coming through for somebody there. All right. It could be a connection. Your name could be L or Ellie. Let's see here. We got Z coming in. T, we got quite a few O's here. We got triple O's. Ooh, maybe that sounds really appealing to somebody. Maybe somebody's into modeling, okay? With that, I got the Bay, like Bay Area coming in relation to that. I just heard Monterey Bay too. I got another C. So C's are significant. I got double D's here. Somebody could have double D's. Somebody's drawn to somebody's rack, man, okay? Okay. P. R. N. 2 T's. T's are significant. N's are significant too. I also got RN. So somebody's considering like doing some kind of work in the medical field, or they're going through some kind of medical issue that's changing the scope of their work. I see that very strongly. That's what I got. All right. I think you took up the most time yet. You had a lot. Your energy was gabby. There was a lot that wanted to come in. All right, Leo. I hope you got some clues that lead you forward in an empowered way. Thanks for dropping in.